A grieving pregnant widow, struggling to survive, discovers a dying man collapsed on a lonely street corner. What she does next doesn't just save his life, it changes hers forever. This is a story of heartbreak, second chances, and the power of kindness that can transform two broken souls into a family. Naomi's day began like most of her days, heavy, slow, and clouded with both exhaustion and quiet strength. She was 8 months pregnant, her swollen belly pressing against the limits of her old, faded maternity dress. The morning sun filtered through the thin curtains of her small apartment, lighting up the bare walls and the hand-me-down furniture she had inherited from her late husband. She sat on the edge of her bed for a long moment, one hand on her stomach, whispering softly to the child inside her. "Just a few more weeks, little one," she said, forcing a smile that hid her loneliness. Naomi was a widow. Her husband, Samuel, had been the love of her life, the man she thought would be there to see their child born. But fate had stolen him away in a sudden car accident just months before. Since then, Naomi had been left to pick up the pieces emotionally and financially. Her neighbors often whispered about her strength. Some pitied her, others admired her. But Naomi never sought attention. All she wanted was to bring her baby into the world safely. On this particular day, Naomi gathered what little money she had and walked to the local market. She picked out simple groceries, a loaf of bread, a bag of rice, a few vegetables. Carrying her bags, she started the walk back home. But then, something unusual caught her attention. Near the corner of a quiet side street, a man lay slumped against a brick wall. Most people passed him by without a second glance. But something in Naomi's heart wouldn't let her. She set down her grocery bags, lowered herself carefully despite the strain on her belly, and touched the man's arm. "Sir, can you hear me?" she whispered. No response came, only weak, shallow breaths. Naomi dialed emergency services. While waiting, she stayed by his side, holding his hand, whispering prayers. When the ambulance arrived, the paramedics explained he was suffering from a severe heart condition. Without Naomi's intervention, he might not have survived. She didn't yet know this moment would change the course of her life forever. Naomi thought she'd never see him again, but fate had other plans. 2 days later, during a prenatal checkup, a nurse led Naomi into a hospital room. There lay the same man, healthier now, propped up by pillows. His eyes lit up the moment they met hers. You're the woman who stayed with me," he whispered. Naomi gave a shy smile. "I just couldn't walk away. My name is Michael Jacobs, and because of you, I'm still alive." From that moment, their bond began to grow. Michael asked about her life, about the baby, about her struggles. He sensed her pain, though she never spoke much of it. "You've been through so much," he said softly, "and yet you still stopped for me." Naomi lowered her gaze. "I know what it's like to feel helpless. No one deserves to be left behind." Over the next weeks, Naomi visited often. One day, Michael surprised her with flowers. "They're for you," he said. "You gave me a second chance." Her eyes brimmed with tears. It was the first bouquet she had received since Samuel's passing. Their conversations deepened. Michael shared about his late wife Grace. Naomi opened up about Samuel. In each other's stories, they found mirrored pain, and unexpected healing. Michael asked one day, "Why did you stop for me, Naomi?" Her voice broke. "Because I couldn't let you feel invisible. I know how that feels." Michael whispered, "You didn't just save my life. You reminded me it was worth living." Their friendship deepened. Naomi brought him homemade soup. Michael told her it tasted like kindness. Neighbors, however, gossiped cruelly. A widow spending time with a strange man? Shameful. Family members questioned her. But Naomi stood firm. "He was a stranger when I saved him, but he isn't a stranger anymore." Then came the obstacle. Michael's condition required risky, expensive surgery. He confessed he couldn't afford it. "I don't want to burden you," he said. Naomi shook her head. No life is a burden. But doubt crept in for both of them. Naomi wept at night, whispering to her unborn baby, "What if I can't save him? What if I lose him too? Michael wondered if Naomi's compassion was just pity. Yet every time she walked into his hospital room, hope returned. Naomi refused to give up. She rallied her church, her neighbors, and even strangers online. Slowly, support poured in. Their story touched hearts. The surgery went ahead. Naomi waited for hours, clutching her belly. Finally, the doctor emerged. The surgery was a success. He's going to make it. Recovery was slow but steady. Michael found new purpose. I don't just want to live, he told Naomi. I want to live for something, for someone, for you and your baby. Weeks later, Naomi gave birth. Michael held her hand through every contraction. When little Samuel was placed in his arms, Michael wept. I promise I'll never let either of you feel alone again. Their bond deepened. Michael proposed under a crimson sunset. You saved my life. Let me spend the rest of it proving you were right to believe in me. Naomi said yes. The wedding was small but radiant. Their vows spoke of second chances and healing. There wasn't a dry eye in the room. Months later, they encountered another person collapsed on a street corner. This time, Naomi wasn't alone. Together, she and Michael knelt, offering kindness. Proof that the ripple effect was real. 2 years later, Naomi and Michael are thriving. Their home is filled with laughter. Their baby Samuel is growing strong. Together, they've created a foundation called Second Chances, providing food, shelter, and companionship to those in need. Their story spread across newspapers, churches, and social media. Strangers write letters thanking them for restoring faith in humanity. Michael often says, "No one deserves to feel unseen." Naomi adds, "Kindness is never wasted. It always finds its way back." This is not just a story of survival. It is a story of transformation. Naomi's grief turned into hope. Michael's loneliness turned into love. Together, they found family, healing, and a purpose bigger than themselves. Stories like this remind us that extraordinary kindness exists all around us. Look for opportunities in your own life to be someone's unexpected blessing. What act of kindness will you perform this week?